Hello, Joe here from Scarff 4. Today we're going to talk about this awesome 2024 Tesla Model Y long-range all-wheel drive that we have for sale. And this one has some extra goodies on it. The Model Y is an amazing battery electric vehicle. I'm a fan of Teslas. I have gas cars. I've owned many gas cars, but I own a Tesla myself. I've been buying and selling Teslas for about 4 years now, and the Model Y has always been a big hit. So when I first started selling the Tesla Model Y, it was exclusive, and they were selling for $20,000 on the used market over original MSRP. But now there are millions of them on the road. They're a lot more affordable than they used to be. I remember when we were selling, lightly used ones like this for $60,000, $70,000, and sometimes $80,000 depending on the options and if it was a performance or not. But luckily, they've come down a lot in price over the years. So before, which was like an exclusive high-end luxury vehicle for people, now it's in a price point where it's accessible to a lot more people. It's pretty much a used Tesla is pretty close to the average price of of most used vehicles. For those who are saying, well, I'm waiting for the EV technology to get to the point, to get to a certain point before I buy one. Well, I can tell you the EV technology is there, because first and foremost, last year, the Tesla Model Y became the best-selling vehicle in the world. Not the best-selling EV, best-selling vehicle in the world, beating the Toyota Corolla. Pretty amazing stuff. And after you drive one and experience it, it's not hard to understand why. There's a lot of compelling reasons. All right, so let's talk about the technology that this one has and the features this one has. Tesla luckily gives you a lot of standard equipment when you buy a Model Y, like heated seats, navigation, parking cameras, Autopilot. A lot of that stuff is standard in the vehicle, but you do have to pay extra for colors. This premium pearl white was an extra cost color. This premium white interior is also an extra cost color. These lovely induction 20-inch wheels, that was an extra cost option as well. But this also has some special software in it that was extra money. For one, this has the acceleration boost upgrade. That basically adds another 100 horsepower to this vehicle. It gets a software update, and boom, you have 100 extra horsepower, 0 to 60 in 4.2 seconds. That is really quick. This will put a lot of purpose-built sports cars to shame, at least in straight line acceleration. And with the weight of the battery so low, it actually handles almost like a sports car as well. So that acceleration boost upgrade is a $2,000 in-app purchase, and it's going to stay with this vehicle. It will transfer when we transfer ownership. The next one is full self-driving capability. That's kind of one that's got a lot of press lately. That's an $8,000 option, or you pay $100 a month. So people can get confused by full self-driving capability because a lot of people subscribe to it, or they give free trials. There's a lot of free trials right now that Tesla's giving to Teslas for the full self-driving capability because it's gotten really good lately, so they want people to try it so they can subscribe or buy it. But if it was a subscription, it would have an end date. So we can see premium connectivity, that ends May 12, 2025. If full self-driving was a trial or was a monthly plan, it would also have an expiration date, but we can see it says included package, so that stays with the vehicle. The person who owned this one before paid the $8,000 for the full self-driving capability, so when we transfer ownership, this will stay with it. And Tesla sometimes have deals in the future, like if they have excess inventory, they'll actually let you transfer your current full self-driving capability to a new Tesla. So sometimes they have, promotions like that. So maybe in the future, if this Tesla's older and they're still doing that, and you want a Tesla of newer technology, and you want to keep your FSD, that's definitely in the cards in the future. I have a Tesla full self-driving, and it's amazing. I've been using full self-driving for 2.5 years. 2.5 years ago, when I first started using it, it was very archaic. It needed constant supervision and interventions. You had to keep your hand in the wheel. It was very stressful using it, but after many updates and many improvements, Tesla has billions of miles of data for full self-driving. FSD has come a long way. Now, full self-driving is hands-free, so it's amazing how well this works. You put where you want to go in your destination, you sit there, and the car drives you. It has a camera here that's monitoring you, so it wants you to keep your eyes on the road. It will, if you start looking at the screen or spacing out, it's going to warn you, hey, pay attention. But you don't have to put your hands on the wheel. The vehicle will make left and right hand turns. It will merge in the highway, and it does it amazingly well. I have a 10-mile commute every day, and I just hit a button and the car drives me there. It gets on the highway, it changes lanes, it passes people, it gets off, it makes left and right hand turns, it stops for stop signs. It actually does surprisingly well in like traffic revisions when they have cones and stuff like that. And it will only continue to get better in the future. Tesla's talking about in a couple of years that it will get to the point where it can be completely unsupervised. So right now it's still supervised, you have to pay attention, but it's going to come to the point where it can be unsupervised, where you can maybe take a nap, read a book, work, or maybe in the future this car could be a robo-taxi, so while you're working or not using it, it can be out there making money, offsetting the cost of vehicle ownership. That's definitely in the car, just not guaranteed, but Tesla has committed to making a robo-taxi without any a steering wheel or pedals, accelerator or brake pedal. So you can see how committed Tesla is to this robo-taxi. And whether you like Trump or not, Elon is very involved in the Trump administration, so any roadblocks for having autonomous vehicles is a lot less likely, I think, with a Trump administration versus the Biden administration, which was giving Tesla a little bit more pushback. But that's all speculation. Nothing is guaranteed. Nothing is written in stone. But as myself, as a Tesla owner, experiencing how much FSD has progressed in the last 2.5 years, it's light years ahead of where it was 2.5 years ago. And I think give it another year or two, it will even get better. I could literally go on an hour about this vehicle. There's just so much to talk about, but obviously you don't have the time for that. So we'll make this a little bit quicker. So we have this amazing screen. The majority of the functionality is in the screen. It's very easy to use. It's almost like Apple-esque, so you'll get the hang of it. And there's also voice commands. You can input a lot of voice commands to change the temperature, put it on the defroster, put it on the wipers. So you don't even need to take your hands off the road. You don't even have to take your eyes off the road. You can just put voice commands, 140 different voice commands that you can do. Pretty amazing stuff. Then we have cool stuff like we have the toy box, where you can do the fart thing. You can talk through your horn. You can play music through the horn. You can make the horn sound like a goat. You can play a light show. Then there's an arcade, so while the vehicle's parked and you're waiting, maybe you're supercharging or your spouse is in the grocery store and you don't want, and you want to wait in the car, you can play video games. I could literally go on and on about this vehicle. And not only is the Model Y one of the most technologically advanced vehicles on the road, and quickest and the best-selling EV, but it's also one of the safest. Don't take my word for it. Look at the accident data, the NHTSA crash data on the Model Y. Pretty much all Teslas are some of the safest vehicles on the road. So, part of the reason why it's safe is it doesn't have a gas tank. Despite all the fear-mongering here about EV batteries, EVs actually catch fire a lot less frequently than gas cars. You have a big 20-gallon gas tank that gets punctured in an accident, that can catch fire pretty easily. And look at this. We have a frunk, which is more storage space, but this is also a safety feature. You have a crumple zone that's 60% larger than the crumple zone on a car with an engine, so you have all this space to absorb crash energy in a frontal collision. Then the weight of the batteries is like a keel keeping this thing planted to the ground, so it has a very, very low rollover risk because so much of the weight is so down low. They've done rollover tests, and even when they get it almost to roll over on the roof, the weight of the battery just plops it on its wheels. These are very, very safe cars. So if you value your safety, your friend's safety, your family's safety, then maybe you really want to consider having a Model Y. It's one of the safest SUVs on the road. And since we have a clean sheet design with an EV, we're not hampered by a gas tank, drive shafts going through it. We have a lot of interior space. I'm 6'2", and look at all this headroom I have. Look at all this legroom. This will make a great robo-taxi potentially in the future of all this space. Then we have this nice sunshade that's easily removable to help limit the sun. I have these two. We have this big glass roof panel to allow natural light inside. There's those upgraded 20-inch induction wheels. Lots of cargo space back here, and of course you can fold down those rear seats for more cargo space. There's also a camp mode, so there's actually a lot of space in here. You can put a sleeping bag, put it in camp mode, and it allows you to use a climate control system while saving energy in the rest of the vehicle. You can watch movies and stuff. And since we don't have a gas tank or an exhaust system here, we have even more storage space. It's remarkable how much storage this has. This generally, even though it's a compact crossover, it has more space, interior and cargo space, than a comparable gas-powered EV. 2024 is an amazing year for the Model Y. We also have a new full self-driving computer. Mine has an older full self-driving computer, hardware 3, but in 2023 they started putting hardware 4 in Teslas, so it's a more advanced full self-driving computer. So if you're really into FSD, you're definitely going to want a Tesla with the latest technology in FSD computers. I'm not sure if my car will be able to be fully autonomous with the old full self-driving computer. Even Elon says that they might actually have to retrofit a newer computer in my car to have it fully autonomous at one point when they get to that point, but less likely with this vehicle with hardware 4. And then we have the amazing matrix LED headlights. So instead of using high beam and low beams, it can actually individually control these matrix LED lights, can actually dim the lights on one side or one area, so it's not blinding the oncoming traffic, while it can keep full light vision on the other side, pointing towards the darker part of the road for better safety and better visibility at nighttime. These matrix LED headlights are revolutionary, especially if you have a hard time seeing at night. Well, there you have it. I could literally go on for hours about it, but we don't have enough time today. Thanks so much for taking the time today to watch this video. Hope to see you soon, and have a wonderful day.